Hey guys, I don't see that this thing has any audio, but this comes from at the Myriad Music. Let's see if we can stop a couple of these frames and see what this is real quick. So that one's some kind, whoops, that one was some kind of an angel. Can't see what that is. Oh, that's another angel. That's a city with a storm. I can't tell what that is. Let's see if we're gonna run it through once again. Let's see what this thing. The beginning. Fallen angel. Fallen angel. Storm. I can't tell what that is. Is it a medical hospital? I can see that there's somebody in a nurse's gown on the left with a kind of looks like a fez type of a hat. The guy over on the right hand side has the same kind of hat. We can see the lighting above. It kind of looks like they're doing some kind of medical procedure, possibly. There's a light from outside. Porthole. Light. Okay, why is this important at all? This is the Myriad. This is who just posted the fallen angel symbolism. Mm, 15 years ago? That's not right. In 2006, I think, Jeremy Edwardson, right here, the lead singer that's playing tambourine, was the lead singer of the band called the Myriad, and they won the MTV Mountain Dew TRL Total Request Live, MTV being Masonic television recorded inside a Masonic lodge. You can go and look at the MTV building in New York and the one up, I think, in Canada, and they're both inside Masonic lodges, the exact same as Jimmy Kimmel is recorded inside of a Masonic lodge. So these guys won the MTV Dew Challenge. Because of that, they got a deal with Koch. They produced this video. In this video, where they used horn god symbolism, they have a man that is half man and half horned beast that is married to a woman. That would be how the fallen angels came down and mated with women and created the Nephilim, the hybrids, the Bigfoots, the giants, those guys. One-eye symbolism. So here's the album cover for You Can't Trust a Ladder. The ladder has to do with the Kabbalah going up the rungs, each degree in Freemasonry. Inside the symbolism of this album cover, you can see that the brain has been broken into segments. Jeremy is very good at separating people's brain into segments and hypnotizing them using magic, using hypnotism inside the music. See how the eye has an X over it? Notice how the eye is one-eyed, and it's the right eye that you can see. The profile makes it so it's the right eye, and the right eye has an X through it because the X is the sign of the dead, and the worthless shepherd, the Antichrist, will be blind in the right eye, and he will have his hand withered. So Jeremy is showing us that even back when he was with the Myriad, and he's just right this couple minutes ago posted up that brand new thing about the Myriad. So he's still actively pushing the name brand. So that's why we're touching on this again. You can see that he knows about how to separate, compartmentalize the brain. I can't get this to blow up bigger inside the screen that I'm using right now, but if you look in the middle of the screen and it's the right-hand side, Jeremy has his hand up in the fist, the same exact fist as the Black Lives Matter, and all the other KKK used it. That's the fist of rebellion against God that is part of the Freemason hand signs. These guys are telling us who they are. Jeremy is playing with the monster that's inside of him. Forget what you came for. Let's look at a couple of the names. A Clean Shot, that's the one that they won the do challenge with. I'm not sure what that is. Actually, let's just go back up to their channel. So that's them at MTV. Randy's passed away. That was their drummer. I believe he got cancer. So I've known Jeremy since Merle Haggard's studio in 1996 when he was recording the album called Whistletoe. If you know about symbology, and back in the 90s, if a girl had a whistling toe, that was not a good situation. Okay, so that was the name of his first band. Then the Myriad was his second band. That's the band that he put together when he moved out of Reading. So I can tell this story with pretty much 100% accuracy as far as who I heard it from. So one of Jeremy and my mutual friends, Ryan, was the tour manager for Aretha Franklin, for Lauryn Hill, for Travie McCoy, for Blood on the Dance Floor, for Jeffree Star. And that friend told me that Jeremy was not allowed to become a popular name inside the industry because he had produced for Eminem, and so he had ghost produced some track that made it so people in Reading wouldn't be willing to accept that he was going to do Christian music and work with Eminem. So he gets to become the mega producer for Bethel behind the scenes.
From Nashville, Tennessee, Juice TV presents
For song creators. CCLI is proud to present this year's Worship Album of the Year. And here are the nominees.
Worship Album of the Year, presented by CCLI. Never Lose Sight, Chris Tomlin.
Every chain is broken.
There Is a Cloud, Elevation Worship. Let There Be Light, Hillsong Worship. The Garden, Carrie Job.
So far, we have videos on each of these groups. Hillsong, Bethel, Carrie Job I haven't done yet, but she was part of Bethel. Each of these groups are Masonic groups. All of them. We have videos explaining how their symbolism exposes their fruit of who they are.
Frontiers, Vertical Worship.
And the award goes to...
Oh, yay! Never Lose Sight by Chris Tomlin.
Never Lose Sight. This didn't say anything about Yeshua HaMashiach. It's nothing to do with the Bible. It's don't lose sight.
Oh man, that's amazing to be representing anything.
One sec.
With the word worship.
Sorry, the trash truck was going by.
Oh man, that's amazing to be representing anything with the word worship is incredible to me. Praise the God of Calvary. That's all you need to see. We just point people to the cross. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much to my wife who's here, and my amazing band, and to Ed Cash who produced this, and Jeremy Edwardson who produced this record.
Ed Cash and Jeremy Edwardson who produced this record.
And we just point people to the cross. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much to my wife who's here, and my amazing band, and to Ed Cash who produced this, and Jeremy Edwardson who produced this record, and just my friends, Matt Marr, who's written almost all my songs with me, and
Matt Marr, who is the Catholic. You guys understand, Catholics are Babylonians. That has nothing to do with the faith of Yeshua. That's the Hebrew faith. That is when Constantine took his Babylonian faith and mixed it together with Christianity and pretended that was Christianity. That is Babylonianism. They are practicing Babylon. That's what this group is doing. They are practicing Kabbalah because that's what all the Freemasons teachings are based on. The Kabbalah is the foundation of all the Freemason teachings, and all of these people have Freemasonic fruit. As you can tell by going through and looking at each of the videos about Hillsong, Vertical Church, all of them. All of them. Don't be fooled. There's no one in the entire music industry that, after 12 years in the music industry out in Nashville, with my ex-wife Janellis, her best friend being Jeremy Camp's wife Adrian, there's no one in the whole music industry that I trust. Period. Period. Zero of them, period. So I put in Chris Tomlinson and Freemasonry into Google, and then it showed me my own post. So I was about to pull it up inside here, and I just put in all for Chris Tomlinson and Freemasonry, and check out what popped up. Thomas Spurgeon with the hidden hand, and the times that Charles Spurgeon was doing his hidden hands. Quite interesting, huh? It always goes through the families of the Masons. The bad guys trickle down through the leadership, and they get put on the world stage. That's why you know their names. So this is a post that I did in November 2nd, 2020. This is Chris Tomlinson in that picture right there, holding up their Holy Bible, but it's not showing that it's the Masonic Holy Bible. But if you look, he's with his grandpa, who is wearing a hat for the Cross of Lorraine. Those lines symbolize how high up the Kabbalistic ladder he's gone so far. He's not super high up, but he's studied enough that he's passed it on to Chris, and Chris is able to manipulate you guys using his Kabbalistic teachings and putting them out and calling them Christian music. These are not Christians. They are occultists. Let's go back and check again and explain to you what this is. This is Jeremy in the 90s. That's Jeremy now. This is what he says about himself in Wikipedia. Notice that he's got the sound house in Reading. Let's go over here for a second. This is the website. Sound house. Client login. Loading tweets. Discography. Let's see who he's worked with. I mean, we've already done this, so... Carrie Job. Chris Kulala, Split the Sky. Okay? He's expecting the Antichrist that he is following to attack the firmament and split the sky. That's what he's saying. That's why when you watch the Simpsons movie and Homer has to ride the motorcycle up to the hole inside the glass case and then throw the glass case through the hole, and it's got a bomb that blows up the firmament. That's what Trump has planned with Space Force, is to attack Yeshua and break the firmament. Remember that the stars fall from heaven like figs, and thus the firmaments roll up like a scroll. Also, this is the first solo album Chris Kulala did after he left from Jesus Culture. He's using one-eyed symbolism. You can only see the one eye inside the album cover, and this is the first one after his son Jet passed away. Last time my friend that was taking care of Chris's used to babysit Chris as a child, the last time she heard, they had still never found a cause of death for Jet's passing away, which is conveniently the same thing that happened with baby Olive, that they couldn't figure out what happened, but they've got all these doctors that are on their leadership, including Julie Winter, who is giving out prescriptions to Chris Valentin. Oh, guys, if you understood what this satanic cult is doing in our town. Chris Tomlin's Never Lose Sight, the album that Jeremy won the award for producing the worship album of the year. He's got one-eyed symbolism on his album cover. See how Michael W. Smith is crossing his legs? If you go back and watch the video on Joseph Prince when he was being introduced by, I know the guy was a Malta Knight, Paul Kane, the guy that used to live with Rick Joyner above his in the loft above his garage, according to Rick Joyner's testimony. Rick Joyner, whose property is the former property of, give me one sec, Count Zinzendorf. And Count Zinzendorf is the one that, so the property that in North Carolina that Rick Joyner is living on is also Count Zinzendorf's former compound. Count Zinzendorf is who Sean Foyt was going and doing the grave soaking on his tomb, or on his grave, and Count Zinzendorf started Appleseed Freemasonry. You guys have to understand, this is Freemasons practicing Freemason occult rituals and claiming to be Christians. They have nothing to do with Yeshua HaMashiach of the Hebrew faith. The people that walked and talked and lived with Jesus, we should be learning what they had going on, not what these occultists have going on. I love you guys. I gotta stop this video. Oh, have a blessed day. Run away from this cult.